Hey. Uh, the house is kind of quiet right now, so... Alright. So, let us continue. All the bones of summer. Bones were buried here, bones were burned, in the ground where their beds all lie. All become fossils for fantasy, all become stories once true. They count on a dream as they spiral towards sleep. Fire follows fire until every color is ash. A 5-chapter story with Draven as the main threat. Okay. Okay, the prodigal parent. Wow. Oh. Well, I thought it was gonna be quiet. Alright. Oh yeah, I took the... Not in the actual file thing here. I should probably do that. Oh shit, I forgot that I sacrificed Maxie and Christine's son to the Morthogi. Alright. Let's see. Let's give Carl a new chance at life. I'll leave her as is. Okay. Alright. So, Grantha. Grantha enjoyed no coddling and little love as a girl. Her father left when she was still very young, and the mother who remained became a hopeless drunk. Even as a girl, she worked wherever folks could find a gentle use for her labor. Bottles absorbed whatever charity came their way. There were several old militiamen who first gave her the idea of becoming a fighter. They were who she'd worked beside her whole life. They started holding little impromptu sparring matches for Bonestorm stakes, and Grantha showed promise, even while she was still growing into her body. After a couple of years, she started fighting in tourneys and adding prize money to her working wages. and adding prize money to her working wages, was able to move out of her soon-to-be estranged mom's house. The journey to distant places always seemed to be just on the horizon for Garantha. Just after this harvest's pay, or the next, but when the father who left her suddenly showed up one day, it would mark the start of that endless, harrowing, joyous road and the rest of her life. Damn. She's a cowardly goofball. Robert and Eleanor. Okay, hey, actually, right. So, let's see. Last campaign, I had based the two starting non-legacy characters as based off of me and my sister, in a sense. This time, also, the rest of the characters for that one was characters I like in certain survival games, and for the last one, not from a survival game. That one was from Pokemon. Hank. This one, I'm gonna be basing it off of Five Nights at Freddy's, because, of course. Alright. Fred Ursine. A gaunt, grim boy showed up one night to the camp of a small, poor performing troupe. A teenager with his infant brother, Fred in tow. The two stayed in the back of a cart on the road, but it was only shortly thereafter, passing through Copper Peak, that the older boy succumbed to an illness of the blood and was buried there. Two dancers decided to quit the traveling life then, and they settled down and adopted Fred as their son, raising him in Copper Peak above a rope and ribbon shop they were able to open up and keep afloat. Despite the circumstances that brought him up to his eventual home and family, Fred's childhood was happy. He was a lanky boy, but grew into a muscular and healthy frame, much to the relief of his adoptive mothers. He had a gift of confidence and decisiveness about him, and it caused most other kids to like him. One day he picked up a broom handle and started sparring with trees. Soon he was training with others and competing in tourneys, honing his skill and body for little practical reason, aside from the fact he enjoyed it. Loyal in his bones and prepared for life's turns, he will find himself thrown into challenges he never imagined, but meeting them with the courage he feels deep down is fed by his resting brother's love. Aww, he's got nostalgic, physical, and loyal. She's got gritty potential and slacker, of course. I should probably mess around with this too. Okay. Yeah, Snarky Hothead sounds about right. Alright. There we go. Brent's birth brought a welcome stillness to the lives of his parents. His father was a quester of ordinary origins, but his mother was a monster hunter of the Haresfoot bloodline. Here, I'll replace it. But his mother was a monster hunter of the Haresfoot bloodline. Theirs was a family as old as fir trees, whose histories were recorded in big black books. On their name hung the ghost of ancient deeds, among them the hunting and slaying of mighty dragons. The Haresfoot family lodge sits a couple of days' walk from Copper Peak. Brent Haresfoot grew up between both places. Oh, okay, it does have it. He was a roof-haunting climber who tended to scrap and scare other children. He had a big, sensitive heart, his parents said. They worried and loved him. As he got older, he lived in town for whole seasons at a time, learning in the school, meeting merchants and their daughters, and hunting the hills to make spending money. He spent most idle hours either alone or with one friend from childhood who seemed to operate at his same level. The legacy of the Haresfoot will lead Brent to wonders, fears, and mysteries aplenty, and he's always known somehow that he'd one day pass on the blood to another. Here we go. That's A-okay. A mountain should have opened its jaws to swallow you. With that much consequence, it would have made more sense. Instead, there's only a smell, and it rose from you. There's me in your body, then me in your bones. Now I send your word aloft on the smoke that was once your breath. Wait, hold on, that's actually... Cause I just tapping stuff. A mountain should have opened its jaws to swallow you. With that much consequence, it would have made more sense. Instead, there's only a smell, and it rose from you. There's me in your body, then me in your bones. Now I send your word aloft on the smoke that was once your breath. Tonight I begin the endeavor you thought we'd complete together. I know our maps, our myths, our every calculation. I hold them in me, but I'm frail where you are strong. I'm fit best for teaching, yet I have no pupil. So it's down to me, down to Versal, last and least feather of a hope. For our failed people. Fox. Yeah, there's a bird carrying something. Shortly after dawn, the far fairground stirs with cheery morning noise. Excitement jolts and jigs among the grass blades. Brent's cooking pot creaks on its fixture, nuzzled by wind. This muck fighting stuff. Rules and facing each other and all. That's how a real fight goes. Not in my experience. Know who you drew for the final? Powerful woman. Name's Garantha Iron. Seen her around town. Supposed to be clever, a little clownish. Maybe your weakness is not taking it seriously? That feels like a leap. You're not usually wrong, but I don't know. Maybe you're not quite able to fathom that kind of person is all. How's my morning stew smell? Honestly, I think I'll throw it up. Because of my nerves, not your cooking. The fair comes each year to Vale's Hills, heralding winter. Sets up half a day from the town of Mossyham, in a spacious basin between the slopes. With it comes hawkers of far-born goods, bell-voiced storytellers, corn cooks, and distractions of all kinds. Easy on the smoke, kids. Greg. Kids? Does you good to see so many people out of different walks of life enjoying the same things? Yeah, you know. My family has old stories. But, well, I'm over most of them. I think it's a lot of boasts painted onto ordinary deeds. But sometimes I catch myself wondering. Anyway, try not to lose. Perhaps most famous and eagerly awaited of all the events at the Hemlock Wandering Fair is the tournament. Experts and amateurs in 10 combat disciplines come to bash their way up the rankings. Some folks delight in the show. Gamblers seize shifting odds and leave rejoicing or tightening their belts. Start waiting on a Fred Ursine, stave sparring. That's me. We can start whenever. Ah, I remember your mug. Here, sign on the thing. The line, you mean? Is your name Grantha Iron? I don't always want it to be. Should I say yes? I'm Brent. You're going against my friend here. So you're trying to get in my head? Anyway, I'm fine wasting air and warbling insults. We can compare teeth and whatever else. But only after I've won. We'll see if your guy even hits me. Alright, this is the final bout for staff. You both know the rules. Let's get it going. Hit it hard, that girl. Father was forced to leave her, go far away. No one left to raise her. Wasn't up to the task. The two combatants face each other. You look like a man who doesn't come home often. They say on a fair day, hearts can open. The bell clangs. They begin to circle. And as the fight swirls, gathering energy, Brent's struck by a lightning thought. Oop. Wait, hold on. I do love the writing here, because obviously we know through character creation, Carl right here is her father. And he spins it that that her father was forced to leave her, but framing it in third person and just calling himself father. Then, simple question, you look like a man who doesn't come home often. So, you know, he's putting that clue there, and he answers his question that he doesn't ask by stating his motive for being there. So it's confirming that he is her father and stating his reasoning why he's there. And I like that. As the fight swirls, gathering energy, Brent is struck by a lightning thought. Stick fights are boring. Damn it. What the fuck? Oh my god, she's good. Oh my god. What? Okay, good. Fred stumbles down in obvious pain. The sighs and cheers of onlookers mingle. Oof. The master's decided. Winner, iron. Oh, Fred, you dope. Did I have to watch you? How'd you lose? Proud to see it. Wish I felt I had the right to tell her so. What happened? She cheat? You okay?
Well, you see, she kept blocking.
I'll be fine. It's an experience. The audience clears up quickly, summoned away by the prospect of other spectacles. And now a prize for a stave sparring champion is cut from the stone-hardiest fire oak tree in the north, and painstakingly shaped by silent and sultan-haired masters living tall on ocean-torn cliffs, descendants of seafaring people. Yes, I present you with this oft-overlooked weapon of the hero's canon, the Elnish Warstaff. Is that extra stone hardy? Very smooth, I think. Ew, I'll chest the card. Listen, I'm glad you finished things the right way. Oh, countless miles, crossed unnumbered and unmapped lands, and came back in order to... I just find it weird my dad's name is Carl. Mulling his defeat, Fred rose to the fair with Brent. Plenty of games and things to try, if you want, or could find a sided tent. Tent to tent, they sift through adventuring antiques and handcrafted oddments. Faraway smells bellow on every bright canvas. Outlandish sights abound, wherever their eyes wander. And they can follow the laughter to find sweet goods and cups of joy. Are they sisters or something? The better part of the day disappears, and they find themselves sidling in with the crowd to see the fair's final show. It's supposed to be quite good this year. Anticipatory murmurs flow amongst the attendees. Even a tinge of unacknowledged terror is there. It's soon obvious why.
What is it?
He's a drove. No, he's a drove. Careful. You find seats near a pair of familiar faces. Afternoon sun bakes their necks. At last, the Fairmaster's face pops into view. You appear to be waiting for someone. I'm kidding, of course. Here I am, flesh and steel. Knight of the Nightless Star, Helmut Hemlock. Renowned warrior Helmut Hemlock, retired though he may be, still possesses remarkable agility. We of the Hemlock Wandering Fair thank you humbly for filling our quaint tents with life these past 3 days. Surely you came hearing rumors from travelers who saw us in summer and fall. Did you wonder if such a thing might be? Now you can see the truth for yourself. You gaze on my pride in crowning achievement, the diamond up in 15 years in carving. Behold, this is the vein. The vein. There's a bird. Just pointing it out. So is the beast named by a warlord who wore the femurs of our fellows on its neck. Named by a warlord whose head I claimed, and tail split, and body stomped to mulch. On its pup, I showed mercy. Mercy, huh? I was advised to put it down, but instead I caged it. I took the monster alive, its name intact, beneath my own roof. I fed it, clothed it, I tamed it. And should you doubt my word, a collective gasp arises as the creature easily removes the bar of its prison and steps free.
Let everyone walk right up to it.
Don't let it frighten you, friends. Thavain may be the spawn of a Draven warlord, tremendously huge and mighty, yes, but it does as I command. He reaches for a spear that they'd supposed thus far to be no more than a prop. So I give you the most thrilling, chilling, and realistic reenactment of our battles against the Draven that anyone has ever witnessed. The Fair Master pauses to let stunned eyes refocus. Existence itself seems to be caught staring. Then the two combatants level their weapons, and they clash. The fight must be staged, but the Fair Master's performance is convincing as he sends a large drop to the ground. To tame Thavain was not an easy task, but there's a language all creatures understand, and Draven better than most. It's called pain. Kya!
Cool.
I fought Draven my whole career, even the strongest and most cunning. I cut down. There are no mysteries left in them for me. Soon you will see that they're not so scary as you enter this arena supposing.
Well, I'm not watching this.
The Drav rises, gathers, wait for the Fairmaster's signal to attack. Holmat's hemlock clicks his tongue, and the Drav rushes forward at theater speed. His course is straight and obvious. But at that moment... What? There's no pulse of clarity for the Fairmaster, Holmat's hemlock. He falls dead. The greatsword drops from already loosening fingers. Every present pair of lungs holds still.
Good cometh.
The Drav bends for the sword and runs. Peace shatters, then bodies flood the paths. As people flee, as fires spit and fly above the forest of tents, Draven battle cries, foreign to most ears, riddle the air. Blending with the screams of fair-goers and fair workers is a choir of violence.
I don't have anything to swing. My bow's back at camp.
Need weapons? Bet there's at least a few flame-licked shop tents out there, full of them. Then we'll see who we can save. All agreed? I could also, well...
Stay by me.
Alright. Carl, you better enjoy your second chance at life here. Yeah, here, Fred. Shingle for a company called Black Wolf Arms. Scatter of weapons and things. Fred, this way. Across the fairground, canvases sag and tall poles topple. Terrible things happen behind the smoke, and that's only by the noise of gurgling death and triumphing hollers. Actually, this is good. And these arrows.
The ranks are ever in, but behind them I sense a retreat. If you want to know how budding heroes bloom, this is it.
Damn. That was cool. Alright. I think it's just that one left. Never mind. Oh shit. A raid knight. It sits proud and steady astride a screaming warbird. Howling battle boasts as loosed arrows arc and rain. Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, at least that worked. Damn, Carl almost died again. Carl. What? Oh shit. Ouch. Damn. Almost lost someone there already. Black tears drip from chins, from the smoke-stick faces of survivors who huddled staring.
Fred, you did well, you and your friend. We need creek water, right? I'll go.
The full horror won't be known until all the blazes burn out. Fire crouches in the ribs of shredded tents, feasting on fine goods, making ash of art. The smoke's getting bad in my lungs.
May your bodies be earth-eaten and fed to the ants, and feed the ants. Your death shrouds lie heavy on you, root and rock. It was a cowardly and cruel attack, but you know what? I blame that boasting fairmaster just as much.
If you're done cursing ghosts, come along. And if you're not done, mind if I eat this dusty chicken leg while you yell? Anyway, I'm done with this place.
Alright, water's here. Suppose the fire's next? No concern about drawing attention, is there?
What? No. Concern is the trauma, maybe. Some will be upset.
Evening's near. The knife-shaped moon briefly shines, then gets swathed in gray. All my livelihood was up there.
No other survivors.
Toilets are empty now, if anyone needs to go. Night smooths the world with shadows, leaving a cold blankness where black creases had caught the eye. Some howling dog bounces her voice off the canyons and converses with the echoes.
Did the perimeter, like you told me, Carl, and did some of your double backs, Brent. These Droven are gone.
Of course they're gone. Wouldn't have sent you alone if I had any doubt.
Oh, that makes sense when I think about it. But why send me out at all?
You were getting in everyone's hair. Anyway, you looked like you wanted to be busy.
No one has to listen to him, you know. Miserable father, probably not the right person to take direction from.
Have to listen to someone, though. Carl got us all out of there alive.
But Carl isn't doing anything without a reason. Why don't we let him tell us what really brought him here? In time for the show.
Suddenly wishing I'd been ambushed out there or something. Twisted my ankle and fell asleep.
Granthos. Yes, I didn't come home only to reconnect with my daughter. But you can afford to hear the details as we go.
Go where?
Carl wants me to follow them. The Droven who fled. And I said yes because why in the names of any gods listening would I say no? And I'd hate to be left behind if I was you. Either of you.
I wouldn't have looked for a conventional tracker, but Brent's family is unique. It felt fortuitous.
The next day sees him already embarking over the hill path. Brent's is scarce and muddled here. Seems to have purposely staged a split where the ground's hard. The left survivors of the fair organized and guided by the most sensible hands among them, themselves recipients of Carl's parting direction.
Feels like it's about time to name this little group, right? It's something of a tradition. I have to make it one that captures imaginations, of course. A beautiful name. When the name gets famous, it'll get you indoors, get you seated at tables, maybe get you into a few locked hearts and the lamps they belong to.
They path forward in long silence, then... It's not that night, as they're stewing bird's meat and wild dug roots, that an idea sticks.
The Moose people.
Right.
He always likes to suggest something moose. Don't worry.
Ooh, the army of... The War Staff Army. So begin the tales of the War Staff Army.
The War Staff Army. You know, I actually like it.
Wait, really?
It's pretty memorable. Summer follows spring, follows winter, follows fall. Shadows follow moonrise, follows sunshine, follows squall. And fire one day follows fire. Here it is. Alright, so here's the interesting thing about this campaign. Or at least this chapter. It's yet another time limit kind of thing. Mossy ham. Ham moss.
We must risk moving in daylight, gain distance, be ready to march in a feather's breadth. Yick.
A band of human trackers, bringing numbers unknown, burns at their heels. It has the Draven both surprised and a little fearful.
Oh, have you calmed down? Imagine being flinchy at that size. A question. Why my fee you gave? You lack the language to understand, even were I to explain every intricacy. Just trust me. Drefsnack didn't pull this trip together for no reason. Past their prime tail chewers, maybe. But raiding is their life, their history, and the aim of their ever lives. What meaning is Drefsnack? What is? You really like that sword, don't you? That'll either be a problem or it'll make him popular. Drefsnack is a name you must learn. He was my elder, my teacher, one of the last great divans of our lore. I am merely his shadow. We move in Drefsnack's honor. Yes, you owe your freedom not to me, but to his wisdom, and the respect he commands.
In moments, they'll be underway again. Meanwhile, what I like about this campaign is that you follow this crew. It's like this is... You're not just getting the hero's perspective, you're getting the protagonist's perspective, but also the antagonist's perspective. Since the Draven when you look at like the Gorgons, somehow they have their own civilization, considering that Ulstrex is their king, their leader, and stuff like that. But they're also more animalistic and eldritch. Morthagi are undead machines made for purpose. The Deepists are a cult that strive on trying to become immortal. Thrixel are the most alien thing you'd ever imagine that has the ability to control and warp reality as we know it. Draven, they're like a race of dragon lizard people. So it's just, they do have a semblance of society for them, in a sense. And I like that the story kind of takes you through that. Because this is essentially just two sides going at war, and it's just fun. Meanwhile, that's Milk. The days have been grueling. Only as the Draven are ahead, leaving spare sign behind them of having a lit leaf, much less slept.
If it's plainly visible, that means we need to avoid approaching it directly. Come out at an angle, or we'll be giving them both our flanks.
You're really that versed in war?
In fighting Draven.
Don't be impressed. Doesn't want to tell you, but hearing that, Fairmaster? Hallmont Hemlock, student and teacher.
Right.
It's only true in the vaguest, most eventual way, as it's true with everyone.
We learn from and teach every person we encounter. Helmut was my senior. I knew him. I was there when he slew the Draven Lord and took the sun. I argued that if anyone were to raise a Drav, it should be with compassion. I was a human orphan of war. But I was just a greenhorn then. We need to make our decision early, probably. Split and sneak up, or tie them together. Speed, I'll say, is necessary either way.
Gruntha and I can handle the front.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
So yeah, by the way, you need to make sure that everyone basically lives, in case you didn't notice. Are you sure you guys are up front? Oh, also. Nice. Damn it. Fred. Nice. On the other side of the brief wood, there's no sign a camp was ever made here.
Now we know they know that we're giving chase.
It burned drift moss. For some reason it always gave me pause. I'd rather have discerning noses and prefer pleasant smells.
False trail means we go back to the stream bed. Our core must have traveled up it for a while.
Hey, I'm an idiot. You should have seen the script's prints with humor.
Wonder if you could track me. I'm actually pretty elusive.
His guesses have been good, on the whole.
It's a short stop for food, then they're underway again.
Carl, you were talking about your past before.
About Halmat and Kaya? I was done, basically. It was the end of the 20-year conflict.
Who's Kaya?
Kaya Eve was another fighter we ran with. Younger than Halmat, closer to my age. She always helped soften the hard times. Poor Kaya. Now there's someone your mother led up around. I don't know. Got questions myself. Many of which I've never really wanted to answer.
Backtracking, they reached the stream that night.
There's something a little bigger than a salamander wiggled itself up this bank.
This is our trail. Oh, it was like, there. Not, there is, or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, we needed to heal, I forgot. Yeah, it's messy just messing with stuff, to be honest.
Shady bottom henge.
Sun's lowering. The canopy tosses a gentle aroma over them, like pepper and sage.
You look pretty serious about whatever you're seeing.
Definitely a camp here. Cook fire. Can see where a kettle stand dug its foot in. I bet they want to be found. That feels like what my dad would say.
Maybe they thought they lost us with a stream walking trick.
Then there's bird spat on the rocks. It looks like someone was testing a blade on that trunk.
Which trunk?
That one by the... Oh. The one by the draw, actually. Oh, no. Damn it. Damn it. I'm losing. That driver's gonna attack Brent. No, he's not. Oh boy. Huh. Fuck. What? You're lucky I didn't die from that. I forgot how stressful this one beginning chapter was, because you need to make sure none of these guys die, but you have to also constantly be on the move, and these guys are actually pretty, like, tough to deal with. Okay. Wait, you have the highest accuracy. Hunters lodge up on the hill, hidden away. Folks there say Dravin fled from here a while ago, by the daylight. Timeline matches well to ours. My timeline, huh? Yeah. Well, I've known a night or two like this one. Music Baron. When the woods stand shy to wave in the windless air, with moon and star buried in their thick, fragrant hair, I'll tell you a story that was told to me in trust, of the Emerald Lady who's now dead. I'm not imagining it, am I? He shuts up whenever I say dad. But anyway, yeah. Sometimes I feel like we're told stories only to distract us from looking at terrifying truths. And why are we still out here, Carl? Why is it so important for us to catch these Dravin? Is it about vengeance now? Because I don't know. The challenge is enough for me. I don't know. When its first breeze is felt, it carries a damp scent. I won't say it for you. No, and you three have earned more from me than silence and staring. Alright, so let me start by saying, it's not about anything in the past, or times gone by, grave filled in, life spent, dreams followed. It's not about vengeance.
comes before vengeance. It's love. Love for the world and people of the world. People already born and bruised by years, and people that are glimmers in the ether, someday to open tiny wondering eyes. You can call me sentimental, call me a dough feeder. Maybe by now, you think I'll use words I don't mean nor speak beautifully, but I promise you, I mean it more direly and seriously than I can really communicate. There's a drove of this host we hunt, who leaves only black timbers and burnt bones where homes stood. I tracked his passage to the area of the fairground, and I should have anticipated what he did there. Drevsnak. That's the name he gave me. A president of ours during the conflict. He spoke Yandrik to me, and I taught him to read, led him mythologies, and once to at night, I turned him loose. He seemed to be a scholar. I thought myself marvelously kind, but his quest is for fire, domination, and our end.
Thavain, get moving. The torches are lit for us, and we tempt discovery.
Slowed by their efforts to avoid detection and obscure their passage, Versal's band makes for the understone causeway that first granted them entry here.
Haste is fierce remedy, Thavain. Haste, those fools, we're days off.
They feel peril building at their backs, and every gradual length of ground is excruciating.
Work.
I should be walking the trail, scouting and scouring for more of them. Yeah, but we kind of need the resources to be able to kill them. I guess it's a blessing that we don't have to deal with calamities. Or with incursions. We deal with calamities.
Randomly, I was thinking, Brent, about that trader's boy.
Yeah, so what? Which one? Or like, also, what?
He was our age, remember?
He wore polished shoes and you always stepped on them and made him push you. And you fake him arm break or something. His family used to pass through the town and fall. Oh, Narnak very last. Yeah.
Whatever happened with that? You used to tell me you'd marry that boy someday.
He writes to me sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, I should. Maybe I should write back. Quiet, are you two?
You were going quick. Went all the way up to the ridge?
Yeah. Saw no one lurking. I still think this place is a little conspicuous.
No one comes here. Old road went this way. Said yourself this is where their trail goes. It's that big part of how they penetrated so deep into people's lands without raising alarm.
You do your magic thing on it?
Put my awareness a ways down the tunnel, and I can tell it's populated.
Move low towards the black entrance.
Guess we have to unpopulate it.
Hmm. Yeah, get out of here. My god, they're here. Oh, that's what we've been at that end. Nice. Uh-oh. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna actually be using that shift key. I was trying to see what if there's like a walkthrough on Steam that talked about the campaigns of this game, and I don't think there really was. It mostly talked about stuff in general. The fuck? Uh-oh. That was my grave error. Seeing her father crumple, Garantha's assumptions about the world are first to painfully rearrange themselves. Carl hears Garantha's gasp over the battle clamor. He's been tuned to that voice for a long time.
That's a tough old strip of jerky, though. I'll pull through.
You going to be okay? Aren't you?
To an extent. If ever lying down for a long time.
Carl catches Garantha looking back as he withdraws.
She'll be alright.
Okay. Get fucking wrecked. You made me lose someone.
They leave these forces to slow us. If they simply turned on us all at once, I'm not sure we'd stand much chance.
They think we have our own warband, Brent. It's Rotolands out there. Not many friendly faces. Past Narcelin Wood. It's driving lands. We need to catch them before they reach that far border.
We need to take stock. We've come all this way. We've succeeded in driving the Draven out of our lands. Is it realistic to expect better results if we push our luck?
Oh, Dad's too old. Look at him, haggard as a maple tree. You let an old man go alone? I'm gonna end their rivalry.
Versal, we plan to hunt and forage to murder our bellies in this wood.
The Draven fight exhaustion themselves, hurried and perplexed by the dogged pursuit.
Food is low, spirit is low, drift's not good of.
You, speaking, stop. Versal will save us. You will walking do.
Strong street.
Trevor, at last, what can you tell me?
Thank God it didn't send Carl somewhere. You know, if I didn't even have that haunt in the deck, why is it here?
Help! Can help me, any?
Huh, this one again. Gives a sign of what we do, huh?
a snapping turtle.
Enchanted turtle. Turtles don't talk, their brains are the size of a thimble. That very personal remark. I'm sorry. As was saying, enchanted turtle. Am actually Prince.
Sure you are.
Was enchanted by jealous rival, cursed to shape Oozy now. But kiss can me set free. Please help.
Well, we have to help the poor thing. Ugh. Blah.
Huh. My god! Thwack.
Carry, free, be free. Now the wretched shark shall pay. Curse me to be turtle, will he? I guess he never said he was a human, Prince.
The important thing is that we helped somebody in need, I guess.
Fred will be a bit more wary after that. Plus defensive bonus this campaign. Whatever you say, Turtle Kisser. There we go. Alright. I saved so that in case we get our asses handed to us here, I can scour the deepest thing. This is a final fight.
They're up in the ruin, maybe accepting and preparing for the fight we're about to have.
And it happens today. You're as good a tracker as any I've met, Brent Harrisfoot.
It's been well worth my time, getting to test myself out here. My senses, and my bow, my knife.
Dad, we stayed together, right? Right, the danger of cornered animals and all. I will say, you don't have to come. This is mostly my fight here. And I know that, and I'm sorry I've driven you all this way.
You cannot win this by yourself.
Drevsnack. His power over flames is sudden and strong. Hill folks took to calling him Dragon, or Old Golden Glare.
We called my schoolmaster worse things. Here, don't go in front. Let the strong folks up first.
A fortification was once carved halfway up a cliffside where water used to flow. Though its name only lives in the scattered air its builders breathe, its command of the territory has made it the site of strife 10 times since it fell to ruin.
They truly chased us back into the egg. What could drive such death lust?
He can't escape now. That works. Only provides one measly little thing. That's funny. Kind of hoping that I will kill it with Fred. No. Okay. Fuck. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, good. It went after him. Nice.
Drevsnack, the blood can stop. Be brave, Drevsnack. We'll end this the way we should have ended it.
You say name of Drevsnack. Does Soft Skull know this name?
You speak Yendrik.
Drevsnack did teaching to me.
Look up, Carl.
Look up, girl.
Brent! I see him.
It was foolish to chase us. Driftsnack is dead. Boucher Vassal. He is the mighty deep. Hesht, Rick, Kjarn, Savain, Sharisak, Skion, Driftsnack Een. Quick, Pointless is talking now. Pointless is you living. Be dead.
The bird beast's blasting call seems to jolt even the old stones awake. Then the ruins are alive with scrawling Draven shapes.
Well, friends, I guess it's our turn to run.
Okay. I could get Brent out of there. Uh-oh. It's gonna reach... Okay, it's not. But now they're no way. Uh-oh. That one's cutting us off. That bird's gonna be on his heels. Whew. Alright.
It was miserable misthinking, Trava, letting them chase us so long. Your hateful little eyes agree with me. Though I suppose these lessons must be learned for wisdom to grow. Other Drovens allow humans escape. Why do? What do you care? You've killed how many of us? Always better, Thavain, to let water flow where it will. Give it room to leave you dry. I would have preferred they believe Drevsnak alive, but knowing the truth, perhaps they'll subside back to their human ways, their corn growing, their musk making, and whatever else. Your name be known. That is a good thing I want. Hyesht, your loyalty is noted, young warlord. Let's hope it is more helpful than annoying.
I don't see any shadows up on the path, but I'm going through the water here and starting north. Out of arrowshot, we'll course correct and head east. They eat cold food where their aching feet stop. A shrine here seems to promise safe sleep.
Drevsnak dead. My area cost you all so much. So much time, so much of your innocence. It was a waste, and I'm truly sorry.
What I was thinking was, how do you know what this draft said was true? Couldn't they be hiding him from you?
Right,
More mixed trails.
the smaller one, called Versal, the way he spoke. Kieran, Thavain, Sharsak, Skion, Drevsnakin.
You understood that, huh?
Roughly, something to the effect of, shut your lizard trap.
Dad, you're going to leave again, aren't you? This time, I want to go with you.
It's a long way I plan to go, and away from many friends you've made, to lonesome places in search of lonely wisdom. A lot of it Draven flavored, I'm afraid, but I'd be happy to have you along.
Winter's well underway by the time they return to Mossyham. There's no hero's welcome. No one really knew why they left in the first place. At home, where many of his belongings are now missing, Brent dusts off a bundle of correspondence from a boy he once knew, and begins a letter that will lead him towards a new purpose. Survivors of Burning Fairground don't forget it, but who has time to hold on to last year's horrors? Small disasters need attention, their sins to feed and fences to fix. Life for many folks in many years falls into a peaceful curve. 10 years of peace follow. Alright. Thank you. I'll take that. In the years of peace, the muscles in Carl's back began to knot more tightly in the mornings, and it took longer to unwind them. He began to run his hands over the bark of trees with more sympathy than before. Brent spent a month tracking a golden stag. As he finally raised his weapon for the kill, the stag looked him straight in the eyes and laughed. Brent went home with a prize greater than any set of antlers. Fred was visited once by a woman cloaked in ivy. The spirit laid 3 features out for Fred to pick from. After careful deliberation, one was finally picked. For a good stretch of her youth, Grantha had made a habit of collecting loose nails and tacks, keeping them in a pouch by her side. One summer morning, out of the blue, she entrusted her whole collection to a local kid. Reached that age, I guess. After a heady courtship, half of it written in letters, Brent married a merchant's son, Narnak Wearylast. Soon after came a daughter of their own. How? What kind of magic allowed that to happen? In those early years, the girl would be raised where Brent had been, in the lodge home of his family. Alright, well. Right. It appears where to go for extra work. Some fixing projects, some junk that needs sorting. Kept animals when my husband was still my husband. Door gets rusted closed, so I never used the bolt. This is why you see just a rope and a hook. But it blows open when that sheep tries to eat the rope or something. Knocks it off its hook. So I'd appreciate you checking up on it when you can. What do you look at? What are you looking at? Cobb's the final sheep. Cobb, huh? Cobb, huh? Cobby Cobb. What a bright sheep. And of course, she's the last of my sheep. I hate her. Still, she doesn't leave, so you'll have to feed her. I can do her baths. Alright, so also in here's... Let me show you what's also in here. Also in here's whoa! It's a guy. Yes, that's a grown man. There's another one. And there's another one. A woman, rather.
Yes, 2 people, I guess. Oh, Dad, wake up.
That doesn't often happen, but I do think it's pretty weird when it does. So anyway, as we were talking about, brisk cool winds were at first welcome, with summer starting. Now they lash this yondering. Proud tall trees must bend. Even the stones feel it. High on mountains, jarred rocks plummet off seats they'd held since mountains were raised. Was self-convinced your letter was a fake.
Brent Harrisfoot, they say you're dead now.
They do? Gold was excited to stay the summer with my mother and father. Narnock wanted to travel and meet you.
Maybe hoping you'll come with toys from far off. Well, maybe hoping you'll come home with toys from far off.
This is my humble home. Feel free to suggest improvements, of course.
Fred
Ursine, you look broader and handsomer than ever.
Narnock meets the folks Brent's spoken so much about.
Hello, Master Carl. I'm Narnock, Brent's husband, and you must be Grantha Iron.
Simple subjects come first. A big warm meal is followed by toasts, and a glossy accounting of all the years. But remembrances are abbreviated. The nature of their business today is grimmer even than it was all those years ago. Good to hear the problem is still relatively remote, but a journey's needed then.
Yeah, and there's trouble on the road. More probably even since we walked it.
Do we even know why? Why slaves? Why force them into pits? Why any of it?
I don't know what exactly they're digging for. Or do they carve caves and hollow out mountainsides to act as fortifications? I can only imagine. They move earth, they eat and drink from troughs, sleep chained to stones and each other. I don't know how many. They're all human, though. Their numbers grow as Bonehelm Knight. Their numbers grow as this Bonehelm Knight has his way with the land and landsfolk. He and his Draven Birk any militia force that challenges them.
You believe it really is?
I haven't seen him, but the description of his sight has leave little doubt.
Narnock, the mean Thavain.
Leaving me feeling, again, that the world pays when I don't finish what I start.
What could we have done? We can't take blame for every bad thing that happens.
Yes, maybe, but I can see why you thought to come get us. We're probably the ones who know this former captive himself. Know him best. Fate wears a particular cloak. It's woven of quiet. When he sweeps through our lives, we sense it, and our hearts lean to follow him. When the house is asleep, Brent and Narnock prepare themselves for a separation of great spans into hills, and possibly years. The necessary things are said. Less ultimately than either one will later wish. Hold on, I want to actually get this guy's full name again. Alright. Wildermyth Forest isn't on any map I own. Must be more than a season's walk. Suppose Narnock knows that.
I'm afraid it'll likely be more akin to a war campaign than a hunting trip. The way I see it, there's a couple distinct ways to go about this. We speed straight towards our enemy and their full force,
the way we did last time.
Or we can be more
methodical. Take out Draven holdings, weaken their position while strengthening ours.
Well, maybe the slower way we can afford a few trips home.
I was also thinking that, but I'm glad it was you who said it.
That. Okay. I think that is where I'll leave this. I see that deepest place is still there. Alright. Now that's the final stream for today. I'll be continuing this on Monday night. And then try and continue it more Tuesday if I can. Maybe, possibly.